Welcome to another Indie Dev Showcase, highlighting the many indie games we play here on the channel. If you'd like to submit a game for a future video, please reach out. But otherwise, let's begin. We're starting things off with Rusty Rabbit. This is a kind of action-adventure take on the Dig Dug formula. We play as Rusty in a far future where all humanity is gone and apparently animals have taken over. And we spend our days digging for junk and treasure in our kind of mech suit. But when our suit gets damaged and we run into some newbies in the field, we are going out for a grand treasure. So this is kind of like a Metroidvania light style of game. You'll explore each area in your mech suit, looking for the required parts needed to repair it and unlock new abilities. From our time in the demo, it appears to be more on the linear side. There doesn't seem to be a lot of reason to go off the beaten path. I do like the look and the characters are rather charming. But this is one of those games where you kind of are going to get everything that this game is going to be about in relatively short order. And I don't know if it really throws anything like new or different beyond just all the digging that you're going to do. So if you have fond memories of Dig Dug and looking to dig up some treasure, I would at least give this demo a try and see if it works for you. We now go to Pilo and the Holobook. This is a cozy hidden object game. You play as Pilo, an adorable kind of like fox creature who's the assistant to an eccentric scientist. And when they discover the means of exploring different planets and perhaps a threat to the world, we're going to have to save the galaxy by, well, collecting lots and lots of stickers. The gameplay here is that you'll go to different planets. On each planet, you'll find a variety of stickers to represent the different objects. Some of these are just kind of cosmetics or basic MacGuffins. Others will provide you with clues or move the story and kind of puzzle solving along. You'll be graded on kind of like how well you set up your stickers, if you want like the super fancy rewards which are optional. And the entire game is kind of aiming again for being more on the casual side. I do like kind of the whole book interface, not only being your story and puzzle, but of course charting your progress into everything. This is not going to be an incredibly hard game by any stretch of the imagination, and this feels like a really solid game if you're looking for something for like a younger audience, or you just like relaxing and collecting stickers. And I would recommend this to anyone who is in the mood to do some sticker hunting. And now we switch over to Escape from Mutation Station. This is a short-form escape room style adventure game. You're waking up on a mysterious space station, and your only kind of goal or hint is that you must figure out how to escape from said place. And all the clues and mysteries and more await you in this very quaint and somewhat mysterious room. So this again is just a pure escape room style game. The puzzles are going to be laid out around the room and you're going to be looking for any items and clues needed to solve them. As you solve puzzles, you'll be given tools and other items that will lead you to more puzzles and more challenges along the way. I found this one to be quite charming. I would rate the puzzle logic here design maybe like on the moderate to moderately challenging side. It's meant to be a short form game, so if you know what you're doing, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. If you get stuck, then it's going to be a little bit more than that. But still, really great concept for a title, and this one's going to be for all the adventure fans, escape room lovers in the audience. And now we go to Ends Reach. This is a Metroidvania, where you have crash landed on a mysterious planet, and in order to escape, you're going to have to collect a lot of upgrades, and of course fight a lot of enemies to get off it. Our gameplay here is kind of classic third-person action. You'll explore the world, try and deal with the variety of enemies, and look for different upgrades and clues that will guide you forward. There's a healthy mix of puzzle solving and exploration. I think my only real complaint that I had with it, there's a lot of space to run through, and if you die, it can be quite a bit of a frustrating run back to your previous location. The game is kept relatively open and not really too much in terms of guides, in terms of where you should be going, and you are free to wander around, look for secrets, and get all those lovely upgrades. All in all, with our time playing the full game here, I didn't see anything that stood out as a Metroidvania or third-person action game, but what's here is pretty solid. So, in a year of many Metroidvanias that we've played, if you're looking for a more classic take on the third-person action version of it, I would at least give this one a look. And now we go to Oddventure. This is an RPG where you play as the sister to a very annoying younger brother. And when they end up getting lost in a mysterious forest full of all manner of woodland creatures, monsters, and more, we're going to have to try and find them and maybe learn a little bit more about our life along the way. So our gameplay here is kind of a mix of old school JRPG with some very different combat mechanics. The big element of this game is that every character has an emotional state, both positive, negative, and in between. Doing different attacks will affect the mood of everyone in the battle, both on your side and the enemy. When characters are in different mood states, it will affect not only what their skills can do, but also what skills they have access to. So the idea is that you want to use attacks that will put the enemy in a weakened emotional state, so they use weaker attacks. It's a very clever idea, but I do have a few issues with this one. The game makes use of random encounters, which of course means that you can get into these at any time, and it can be a pain when you're trying to explore. Because of the emotional focus here, it also means that combat is going to be on the slower side, as you need to spend turns building or adjusting the emotions of your characters in order to make use of things. And it also gets at the slowness with how the emotions are affected. You see, if a character is not in defensive mode, aka kind of holding their ears, they're going to be affected by your emotions. So you can have this situation where you're trying to affect the enemy, but you can't do anything else with the rest of your party because you have to keep them in block mode or in emotion resist mode so you don't weaken them, and thereby kind of defeating the purpose of making the enemy weaken to get these hits in. And it's unfortunate that it just did not really work for me in that respect. I really like the art style, especially kind of like the animation and look of the enemies during combat. But it is one of those games, again, where the combat system feels like it slows things down rather than rewarding you for doing a really good turn or planning out your moves. So if you're looking for a very different kind of RPG and won't get too emotional about it, I would at least give this one a try. And for the last game of this week's showcase, we have Rad Venture. The footage you're seeing is taken from the Kickstarter demo that the game had earlier in 2025. This is a 3D collectathon platformer, as you play a very Rayman-esque character, complete with the fact that we have no arms or legs. And with our floating hands and feet, we're going to explore a variety of environments, collect lots of MacGuffins, and do a lot of jumping. Our kind of platforming physics here is kept more on the arcade side, as you'll run, jump, flutter, punch, and more around the different areas. The level design here is meant to be on the wider side, as you'll find different routes as well as different challenges to collect the various goods. As you explore the world, you'll gain upgrades that allow you to do more kinds of jumps, as well as explore more of the world and return to areas. I really like the variety of levels that we saw here, going from a very fancy style forest to a noir world where you'll have to avoid gangsters and more. It's kind of hard to tell from the demo, I guess, just how advanced the main game is going to be in terms of its platforming tech. Will we get kind of like the ability to mix and match our jumping and movement tech that we see from a 3D Mario? Or will it be kept, I guess, like more linear in that respect? This looks like a very solid, very entertaining 3D platform. I believe that they did succeed in their Kickstarter goal, so this game should be coming out soon. The demo is still available as of the time of me recording this, and it's a very meaty one. So if you're in the mood for some 3D platforming, and you haven't checked this one out yet, I would highly recommend it. I'm looking forward to seeing the finished game when it is released. And with that, we're done with this week's showcase. You'll find links to all the games down below. As always, you want me to tailor your game for a future stream and showcase, please get in touch. What did you think about these games as well? Let me know. And with that, be sure to come back for some more indie showcases and game design talks coming real soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.